mukuru waffe.
Mazze bulungi ssebo. Abeewo ssebo bali batya?
Abeewange gye bali.
Time check.
Mukulu w'ekika ataliyo.
Good morning, dear Rotarians.
Just 30 seconds to the broadcasting.
Kadla.
Yeah.
Kadila bagambe kyabadde mu kisajjo bagambe
Kadla ngali
na mumuleke omwana mumuleke
Ulira ngambwaje.
Okay.
There's a fire on the chat.
Broadcasting house in 5.
Thank you very much, Mukuru Wechika. A very good morning to you, friends of Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak. It is always a great honor and joy to have you attend our meeting every Thursday morning. We don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. The morning crew, led by none other than Jaja Mzunga and colleagues, thank you very much for always keeping us laughing and smiling all the way from 6:15 to now. So thank you very much. Friends, we are still under the stewardship of the Buddy Group Raspberries here at Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak. So allow me, with no much further ado, hand over to you, Stephen Wax, to guide us through the flow of our Rotary norms as we commence our meeting today. Stephen Wax, over to you.
Thank you, President. Good morning, Rotarians, Rotaractors and Interactors, and friends of Rotary. Our lineup is as follows. We have a formidable team. For the innovation, PN Dorothy Chan. For the Rotary information, we'll have all Rotarians providing this information. Introduction of a guest speaker will be by Rotarian Ivan Mutaka. For interaction, PE Edward Mugerwa. For vote of thanks will be AG Dr. James Onyoy. Statistics by Rotarian Irene Katende. And final toss by Rotarian Peruth. Dorothy, the floor is yours.
Good morning, friends. Let's humble ourselves and pray. Oh God, our Father in heaven, we put this day into your hands. We put everything that we are going to deliberate in your hands. We put our youth in your hands. May you continue guiding them. May you continue giving them the direction that they will be taking. Lord, as we gather together as Rotarians, we put our activities into your hands, especially as we take into account our forward tests of, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? I put all this into your hands for the betterment of everyone. I pray.
Amen and amen. Thank you very much for the invocation, Rotarian Dorothy. Really appreciate it. Fellow Rotarians, Rotractors and the guests on call this morning, we would like to quickly take all the Rotary information that there is, as much as we can take, and in the next 2 minutes, I will receive the Rotary information. As usual, you are welcome to raise your hand up. We'll give you space to voice your Rotary information. But today morning, I heard something about Wachiga Nation and all that. If you're a true Muchiga, just unmute and dive straight into the subject. We'll begin with the none other than CP Mark from RSC Saturday EJAS, and thereafter, we'll hear from you, AGE Dr. Safina. In that order, kindly unmute and voice your Rotary information with us.
Thank you so much, CMP.
I wish I was a Muchiga. I would have loved to dive in, but I'm not yet there yet. Nonetheless, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. My name is Asimwe Mark from the Rotary Club of Saturday E-Jazz. I'd like to thank all Rotary clubs that gave me a platform to keep disturbing your microphones whenever I came for your fellowships to call you for our meetings. We were admitted into Rotary on the 20th day of April 2022, the year of our Lord. That calls for a big celebration. So on the 17th of June 2022 at Rivonia Suits, we shall be celebrating our Charter Night. And it's going to be a celebration that Rotary has never seen before. So you are most welcome to come and join us on that Friday after you've left your office or your workplace or wherever, or the farm, for a very nice Charter Night. Tickets are going for 100,000 and they'll be online. And the hard tickets will also be there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, CP Mark. When CP Mark invites you for a do on the Friday evening, you better show up because we know that it is going to be awesome. Eji Safina, over to you.
Thank you very much, Changemaker President. President, I'm bringing information from the Rotary Club of Nansana. On the 21st of May at 2 o'clock, we shall be receiving, there will be an installation of the 14th president of this club, amazing President Michael. And he has invited the daybreakers to attend his installation. They will be conducted at Georgina Garden Hotel on Olivia Hill, here around Kisubi. And the President, I'm requesting that we take this invitation as daybreakers. President, I submit.
Excellent. Thank you very much, AGE, our very own Safina Musenekisu. And indeed, we'll gladly and greatly join you and the members of the Rotary Club of Nansana to welcome the amazing president. Thank you very much, AG Safina. So friends, allow me invite none other than Samuel Musana, all the way from Marasibukoto. Please unmute and share with us your Rotary information.
Thank you, President. Good morning, all Rotarians and guests. In the same vein, Rotary Club of Bukoto will be installing their 20th president on the 24th of June. Definitely, this is none other than P.E. Alfred Okoya. It will be at Rivonia, same venue that our children jazz will be using. Of course, for us, we don't sell cards, but it's on invitation. So we shall invite with the cards because we stopped selling cards as far back as the 10-11. Thank you so much. You are all invited.
Thank you very much. And indeed, we'll be glad to join the Governors Club to welcome the President of the Governor for District 9213. We really appreciate and thank you very much for the invitation. Super Lady, Admin Irene Katende, I see your hand is up. Would you like to share Rotary information with us? You are welcome, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. This is an announcement for Kampala Daybreak. We will be installing our 11th president on the 26th of May this month. Our venue will be Fairway Hotel, and we are inviting all Rotarians to come and join us. Our cards go for 100,000 shillings. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Yes, very well indeed. It is not verified, it's just going to be next Thursday. It will be a hybrid, both physical and virtual. When we get to see the installation of our 11th president, amazing President Edward Mugerwa. Friends, we request and invite you to come and join us. Now allow me give space to none other than Robert Odedo from Maisha. Kindly share with us your Rotary information.
Thank you very much, my president. Mine is just to sound the bells for a do on the 1st of June. The Rotary Club of Kampala Maisha will be installing its sixth president, our very own Milton Stephen Award will be assuming the mantle from CMP Linda Nabayinda. It will be an evening do for a change, just to make sure that all those who are unable to make it in the mornings this time can join us 5:30 p.m. at Rosaho, our new home. Please join us. There is no ticket price. Just come and let us celebrate the change of leadership at Maisha. Thank you, President.
Awesome. Thank you very much, President Robert Odedo, for the great invitation to the installation of our friends and colleagues of Rotary Club of Maisha. And we will gladly join in at Rosaho come the 1st of June, as you've rightly said. Colleagues, I know that we have a lot of vital information to share, but the time that we did agree on the 2 minutes is really fast spent. So allow me request that should you have additional Rotary information, please channel it through our chat section, and we'll certainly and severely give it the due attention that it really deserves. So right about now, we continue to understand our youth, especially in this very month of our youth. And today, we have a very interesting guest speaker. And it is now my privilege to invite you, Rotarian Ivan Mutaka. Please take the microphone and introduce our guest speaker this morning. Over to you, Rotarian Ivan Mutaka.
Well, thank you, President. Rotarians, Rotaractors, and friends of Rotary. Once again, allow me to say good morning, everyone. President, I'm privileged this morning to handle this activity of introducing a guest speaker. Indeed, I appreciate this assignment. Friends, with me, I introduced to you Miss Alice Nantaramubiru, who is a Catholic by religion. She is a married lady with children. Friends, the guest speaker I have today is a profound lady who desires to serve the vulnerable within different communities and create peace for all around her. President, allow me to inform the fellowship. The presenter is such a dependable, adaptable, resourceful, and detail-oriented professional with a vibrant practical experience in administration and management, not forgetting networking. Friends, the guest speaker I have today is accustomed to a number of capabilities, which include not forgetting leadership, networking and advocacy, customer care, relationship management, monitoring and trainings, resource mobilization, mentoring and evaluation, reporting, coordination, marketing. Friends, allow me to inform you that the presenter we have today has a number of values that she embraces. She's such a kind lady. She possesses humility, adaptability, love, loyalty, creativity, transparency, respect, and commitment. Friends, our guest speaker today has rendered a number of services in her career life. At the moment, she is the head gender unit at the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. She was once a board member, or she's a board member of Young Angels Network organization, which is being led by the youth. She's a board member, Foundation Board of St. Mbaga Tuzinde Kiwatule Primary School. Is the president-elect for Lions Club of Kampala East. Is a secretary to Resilient Cool Moons Investment Group. She's a tutor and mentor to youth and adolescents under the Divine Hope Ministries, Kiwatule. She's head of liturgy at St. Mary Kudembe Cell, Kiwatule Parish. Colleagues, the speaker we have has a work experience which worth us hearing. She currently works with the Ministry of Finance, as I have informed you, where she is dedicated to gender diversity in the workforce. She is in charge of leading the ministry's mainstreaming initiative to promote gender and equity, where she offers strategic policy guidance to departments and programs for gender mainstreaming. She ensures that the gender mainstreaming action plan is followed in all what the ministry does for this country. She has provided and still providing technical assistance in program implementation, budgeting process as a quality assurance advisor, ensuring that the issues of gender and equity are effectively addressed. In order to ensure that programs are gender and equity sensitive, she has worked closely with heads of departments and subventionists under the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Previously, ladies and gentlemen, Alice has implemented Center for Disease Control and Global Fund HIV/AIDS programs under MAPS Network Limited, where she has also served as a Chief Operations Officer in charge of providing day-to-day leadership, financial management, technical support to the cell and board, as well as ensuring effective and efficient implementation of projects. She is an executive assistant at MAPS at one time, where she nurtured strong human resource, administrative and public relations culture, and she headed the procurement committee responsible for all organizational procurements and increased awareness and developed a desirable organizational image. Colleagues, Alice has worked with Standard Chartered Bank as a relationship manager, credit and service delivery manager for SMEs, and a customer service officer. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Alice is a professional teacher where at one time she served as an education officer by preparing objectives and outlines for courses of study, following curriculum guidelines and requirements, and she has doubled as a dean of students who provided technical support to the deputy head teacher, as well as the school bursar in making decisions relating to the day-to-day management of the school's administrative functions. Academic qualifications. President and fellow Rotarians, Madam Alice possesses a master's degree in monitoring and evaluation from UTAM, a postgraduate diploma in monitoring and evaluation, first class from UTAM, a master of public administration and management, Makerere University, a bachelor of arts with education from Makerere University. Colleagues, as I conclude, allow me to inform you that our guest speaker today has a number of personal developments and trainings. She has a certificate in gender equality and development, Open Learning Campus, that's World Bank Group. She has a certificate in communication skills, and she does it very well by writing professional emails in English, Georgia Institute of Technology. She has a certificate in time management, and the main focus is work smart, not working hard, as professionals do. And the other thing, ladies and gentlemen, she has a certificate in computer applications with a vibrant expertise in MS Office application and internet. She has a certificate, credit skills and practices, commercial loans to small businesses, certificate in relationship management at Standard Chartered Bank, a one-day readiness program for corporate management, out service with passion and customer chatter, best client interaction and relationship building packages. She has a certificate, Great Managers Program and Leadership Essentials, certificate in e-learning training, use of computer digital content in teaching and learning. President, here with me, I introduce Madam Alice Mugiru. Over to you, President. And thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Ivan. I now want to welcome you once again, Alice Mugiru, to kindly take the floor and speak to us about a subject that is very pertinent, the subject of handling youth and our technology. You have the next 25 minutes to make your submission. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for that kind introduction. Good morning, everyone who is listening in. I would like to thank God for yet another day and for giving me the opportunity to be here with you this morning. I'm very honored to be speaking to you this morning. Yes, when we talk about youth and technology, I understand everyone has their own understanding, their own belief of what this is all about. I know it's been a big challenge. I've heard people, and I know I've experienced it. It is a challenge, or it is a very good thing, but we do not know where to draw a line. Is it really so nice? Is it disturbing? It has been really confusing. In my understanding, when I talk about youth, leave alone the discussion, the definitions of maybe World Bank, UNFPA, or others. For my understanding, when I consider the youth, and I want to bring everything to our own country here, our own Uganda, our daily lives, what we experience on a daily. I want to focus on the age 13. As long as a child has turned 18, I take that one to be a youth. So the age of 13 to say 24, 25 years. That is the team I want to put into perspective here. And these are the children, or our children, yes, because most of us here are parents or guardians. And these are referred to as the digital generation, kids. I think you understand me when I say that. Or the millennials, the teenagers. These are the ones I'm referring to. So talking about technology, we all know it is more of screens, the TVs, the computers, the telephones, the tabs, iPads, which all of us as parents and guardians actually buy or consume for our children, for our little ones. Now, also radio. We're talking about all the information, so all the gadgets or the channels through which we get information. So understanding youth and technology is an overwhelming kind of issue, because it seems like the teenagers, they feel like their life revolves around the telephones, revolves around technology, in other words. I think you'll bear me witness when you are working. Some of you have these teenagers, like I've told you that the age groups, you have them in your homes. You see all these things. Their phones are with them. They even want to sleep with their phones. They walk all the time. They have their earphones. I don't know, sometimes when you're driving, you find a teenager who is putting earphones into their ears and they are walking. And I wonder if there is anything, there is an alarm. How do they hear what is going on? But that, like I'm saying, that their lives revolve around their gadgets. And it is increasingly becoming essential for us to use technology, which is very okay. It is very, very important because it has changed lives. It has changed so many people's lives, me and you, plus our little ones. Now, the biggest problem comes to the teens, because I would say almost 70% of the positive and negative effects of technology affect the youths. You will agree with me that in Uganda we have the biggest percentage of population, and these are the youth. Close to 77%. They are the youths we have. And probably the reason why it is increasingly becoming a problem and we're seeing it that is getting out of hand is because they are the majority and they have no guidance of how to handle, how to manage this. So much as technology is increasingly improving our lives and also making or changing the world, we have to draw a line because it is either making a child or it is making us smarter or dumb, especially the children. I'll call them the children because the youths are our children, if I may say. So presently, I would say that each generation depend on technology, and this varies because we have each generation that comes is going to be depending on technology. However, the utilization rate is so different because the youth, yes, are onto technology. The children, the adults, all of us are using technology because it's really important. Although that the utilization rate really varies, and this is dependent on why and how we want to use it. And with that, I want to keep on to the children, the youth. Why do you think these teenagers use or don't think about anything else but having technology as their main thing, as their blood in their lives? There are several reasons why probably they have to be with these gadgets, or they have to get into the internet to search for so many things. Yes, because they want to connect with the world. They want to communicate with their friends. They want to keep in relationship with others. They want to connect, maybe to join groups like Rotary. Right now, we're all using the technology because otherwise we will be in the same place, running up and about to be in the same place to have this meeting. So even the youth or even the Rotaractors who are here, they're using this. It is really quite good to use technology. They want to learn more about interesting topics. We keep searching. We go to Mr. Google, sir, and search in. Yes, they want to pursue their goals. There is a lot they want to think of the success in the future. So as we explore so many things, as the youth also explore so many things, there are also other things to consider. We have to, after knowing why the youth really go online to use this technology. And actually, one other thing I've forgotten is that as parents, we even go ahead and purchase these gadgets for our children because we want them to play games, online games. Here they play games with their friends. I can see here some people in my house, they play games with their other relatives who are in different countries. Like I said, that is the interaction. Also, actually, parents, especially mothers here, or even fathers, you use these gadgets as distracting kind of materials. Like you find a child crying and you give them a phone. From the early child age, you give them a phone to be distracted, to stop crying. But I think, do you know what you're doing? Do you know how important or how good it is for a child to keep their eyes onto the screen for so long? So with that, I want us to go through how this technology impacts the youth. I will say it is both good, because it's a tool of success, and at the same time, technology can be a tool of distraction. As I said earlier, that the biggest population of our youth, they depend, their lives actually depend on technology. Yeah, I want to start with the pros, with the positive effects of technology. For instance, it has made life easy. We use it, like our youth use it for classes. You remember when COVID came in, the previous 2 years, our children have been able to keep abreast in what is happening in school. And this is the technology. So we embraced it. It is very good. Yeah. It has saved so many lives, because the youth, even when you have them in offices, you can see them, they use technology to accomplish so many tasks, which is very good, which is okay. And technology has also improved communication. It has improved their communication and also identity. It has improved the communication and built their self-esteem or self-expression, because when you're sending, for instance, a message to your friend, to your colleague, you express yourself, you write all the words and then send a message. Or for instance, when you're chatting, when you're responding to a message on Twitter, they keep on expressing their thoughts and themselves, which is a very good thing for our youth. Also, it has helped the children to access a lot of information, both in and outside their communities. Then it promotes a sense of belonging, because when a child knows that I belong to a Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreaker, it's because of this kind of networking and connectivity that helps them to feel like they belong somewhere. Technology, I'll say that it has led to creativity. I have seen this. There are so many youth, I keep interacting with them, who really embrace technology to improve their skills. For instance, there is a girl I saw who did not really go to school. I think she stopped in primary level. But I myself bought this girl a phone. She was a very good person. I bought her a smartphone. And I was so beaten when I saw this girl using internet and the new gadget to learn a skill. She learned how to plait hair. She learned how to do different dishes, cook. She learned English. This amazed me. She was using it very positively. This is when I say that you use technology positively, it improves your life. Yes, and I've seen also there is another youth I'm interacting with. He's doing metal fabrications. I keep checking on their statuses all the time. Then one time I asked him, where do you get all these designs from? They are very nice. And he says, I go online, I check for good designs, and then I fabricate them. You see, it is very good for our youth if they're using it in the very good way. So it creates that, it gives that creativity amongst the youth so that they can experience new things. I want to give another example. When one time I was seeing my daughter sitting before the computer for so long, and I was asking her, why would you spend 4 hours on the computer? And she told me, Mommy, I'm going to sell you a house. And I was like, how? So what they do, I'm still talking about creativity. What they do, she has a friend and they build houses. She does the exterior bit and the other friend does the interior. Real houses. In other words, in our lay language, we would call it a plan, drawing a plan and designing a house. And I was like, oh, so at this age of 13 and 14, people can really come up with such interesting ideas. And they said, once the house is finished, we're going to sell you this house. So if a child grows with this kind of idea, which they have copied from the internet, I think it is moving onto their skills and also their talent. At the end of that day, you will see that this child wants to be an architect, which is good because they start at an early age. So also, technology improves efficiency. And it leads to a very efficient learning process. This one I mentioned also earlier, like when we had COVID, everything was made easy. Life was easy for those who could actually attend maybe lessons with your children. You could see that it is through technology that people can learn, even from home. COVID taught us so many things. The other thing I've realized, I've experienced, I have a teenager here who is at the university. When they're doing exams, they come up with a Zoom discussion. This was so interesting. They log in and then they start discussing on Zoom. It doesn't need them to be in the same place. So they keep discussing and get ready for their exams. This is the efficient way and the positive way of using technology. Like I said, sorry, technology. Once the youth use technology in a right way, they learn new skills. I talked about the new skills because there's so many things you can do if you get your gadget and you use it. Only that our children need guidance. How are you going to get a phone and what are you going to be using it for? There is a girl, she's 26. I don't know some of you if you know her. I interacted with this girl about 3 years ago. And I was amazed by the way she does her thing. She's a farmer. She calls herself an urban farmer. I check her statuses every day. She uses technology to inform other youths on what to do, to share information. You'll find her on Facebook, WhatsApp, everywhere she is. And this has pushed her a mile. She's been so constructive. If we have such children or youth who are going to embrace the technology and use it positively, it will be a very, very good thing for our economy. We shouldn't be crying for jobs, in other words, because once they learn new skills, they're going to create their jobs. They can do so much online. There are online jobs. Yeah, there are online jobs like affiliate marketing. There is virtual assistance. I see some people telling me that I earn a living with my online job. So you sit in your comfort zone, you sit home and then earn. But are our youth doing this? Do they know that this really happens? Or when they get phones, they just check out for the most interesting memes, the jokes, which they're going to keep posting. Because I also have those categories of youth. They keep posting such information, which is not adding any value. So technology, as I've said, it's good because it also promotes personal branding. For instance, if you look at that girl I call the urban farmer, her brand is built already. She's traveled countries, she had gone places because of what she uses and how she does her things. She learns more. She tells you, I will check how to take care of rabbits. I will check how to take care of my poultry, which is very, very important and good. We need to teach this to our children, to our youths, those ones. And we have to start with the ones who are in our houses, in our homes, before we go out to others. Like I said, that technology has both good and bad. And I said it can be a distraction. It can lead to isolation. It can lead to isolation for the kids, for the youths, because they keep spending a lot of time onto the gadgets, onto the internet, and they forget to spend time of face-to-face talks with their parents, with their relatives, or even their friends. They just continue chatting. Like yesterday, I met one of my old friends, and I was asking her about another colleague. When was the last time you saw her? And she was like, about 13 years ago. But we keep chatting. That one is, I don't think it's a very good thing. And we have it. Can you imagine, even you can be having a neighbor and you spend so many days or months without seeing this neighbor, but you say, hello neighbor, good morning. So imagine a generation we are bringing up who are the majority. What will happen in the future, whereby they have no face-to-face contact, they keep talking or chatting or sending messages via technology. Another problem is technology leads to laziness. You will bear me witness, even yourselves, leave alone the little ones, the youth. These days we don't write. We used to write letters, and you send a letter to your friend. Writing. So there is a skill of writing. Do we practice that anymore? No. And when you see how technology is advancing, like our youth here, they'll use Siri. Not even typing. Siri, I want to find out this. Alexa, please find me this. Mr. Google, sir, this. It is making the youth very lazy. So this is not a very good thing. Not at all. Then it is killing the interpersonal skills. It is killing the interpersonal skills, because you would see more of a child developing and growing when you talk to them face to face, when you interact. When you interact with them, this is not done. When there is technology, it is not done. We don't have that. And also, through technology, I can see many of the children, some of the youths getting distressed, or I would say getting so low, killing their self-esteem because of cyberbullying. I'll talk about cyberbullying, whereby there can be a gang of people, a gang of youth who want to abuse or attack another youth. I think you've seen these things where they can just post pictures of Alice or someone. Let me give my example. Pictures of Alice naked or where. This is cyberbullying. Sometimes this information is not right. It's not correct. But because of technology, it has moved circles, and some people will believe it. By the time you come out to clear your name or to clear the name, oh, this child is not like that. It's not the truth. It has already dented your personality, and this is because of technology. There is a way it moves very fast with wrong information. Yeah, like I also say that the technology is a source of information. I will also say that not all information we find on the internet or everywhere is good for our children. What have we done? Have we intervened to know what they're checking out for, to see what they are really doing? We have not. And this is not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Sorry, I think my time is coming to an end. Another disadvantage or a negative thing I can cite with our youth is that technology has reduced or has dismissed book reading. How many of you can find your children or are still buying books for your children to read? And you all know the importance of reading. This one, we no longer do it. I know you can say that, we are going to find it on the internet. But remember, as they go to search on the internet, they are distracted with so many things. As you're trying to search, there is a search engine called Blinkist. It gives you all the summaries. You subscribe to it. It gives you all the summaries of the nice books around the world. But as you're subscribing and trying to read, their adverts, their what, and as a youth who cannot control themselves, this is when you shift and then you want to see what is happening into this one that has just popped out. So it has dismissed book reading. Book reading would be very important because it improves the vocabulary of a child. It improves the way they speak. Many children, I don't know, because these youth of ours are very, very interesting and tricky. Many of them post inappropriate pictures and information. I happen to have been, one time I watched a video of one of the girls at my church. I knew her. I had her number and I saw her on Facebook. They put, are they timelines? They're called what? On Facebook. Whereby they put those other videos. What she does actually, she was covering her face and then she's putting videos of dancing, shaking the bums. Those are the videos she was putting. Or even other information which doesn't really add a lot of value to this child. Now with the introduction of TikTok, imagine everyone has TikTok. Some people use it to earn, but many of our youths, very many, do not know that actually you can earn using these channels. They just find funny things to put, which are not going to bring them anything, but to take away all the little they have. So one time when I saw this girl posting inappropriate information, I saw her, I spotted her at church. I told her, first come here. I saw you on WhatsApp status and on Facebook posting this kind of information. Why would you expose yourself like that? So I talked to her. And the following days or weeks, I was not seeing anything, meaning maybe she blocked me. That's also a thing. Many of you, you may think that, my child is not doing anything, but they block you. They do block you and you will not see anything. Just know that a child who is blocking you off social media, of accessing their information, is doing something which is not right. This is now where we have to start from. It is where we have to start from. I want also to talk about another issue, which is technology has led to mental health. I think you agree with me. It has led
Alice, I pray that you begin to summarize,
yes,
so that we can redeem some time for the engagement.
All right, let me summarize in 3 minutes. Like, technology has led to mental health, and you have to check your children or your youth. You see, they complain about severe headaches, they complain about backaches, eyesight, and hearing problems because they keep the gadgets in their ears at all times. It has also led to depression. So the ideal limit for the youth as parents, or what would be the ideal set of time for the youth to utilize technology? I want to say that it is, as it is very educative, we have to focus as parents or as guardians or as responsible citizens. How are we going to help these children or the youth? We have to ask questions like, why is my child looking for this information? And where are they looking for it from anyway? How do I know that this information is good quality for my child? Which kind of games is my child picking, or which apps is my child downloading? We have to get involved. Involve yourselves as parents. And as I conclude in 2 minutes, as a take home, we have to control even ourselves. We have to control, because our children or the youth are going to learn from us. So it is mandatory to control what technology is doing to our generation and to us. So we have to strike a balance on how to avoid harmful situations or harmful information. So it is important for the youth to know that technology has boundaries. Let them learn, help them to learn, help them to check out for the best information. They need to do everything in moderation. So we have to try to control and let technology be controlled by ourselves. We don't have to control it. All of us. We have to control technology. It doesn't have to control us. So if there are youths or the interactors, I want to leave you with 2 questions here. What is your contribution to the future as a youth for the new generation in your society using technology? And as a millennial, why is it important for you to know that the advantages and disadvantages of technology have to be considered first? I would like to close with a quote from Albert Einstein, where he said that, I will quote, "I fear that day technology will surpass our human interaction. The world will have a generation of idiots." Think about that quote as you who is listening and watching. Thank you for listening to me.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Alice Mubiru, for those great nuggets about youth and our technology. PE Edward Mugerwa, I'll allow you strictly 5 minutes to take care of the 2 questions I saw in the chat section and maybe one hand from one of our colleagues on call, CP Sam, so that we can be able to wind down the discussion. Alice, I'm going to request that if you have time, you can stay behind. I'm sure that you'll have a little more question at the end of our fellowship, so we can stay put and get a little more discussion and interaction with you. Over to you, PE Edward. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. President, for giving us such a great speaker. Indeed, this is a topic that we are all concerned with. We are either parents to the youth, relatives to the youth, or somehow we have youth in our care. And indeed, the guest speaker has clearly told us that technology has the good and the bad. We do have, I would like to welcome questions and comments in our chat lounge. I know that there are few questions and I think a comment or so. I'll start with that. Let me start off with a comment from none other than CMP Peter Mbiru from Nakasero Central. Thank you for escorting Mrs. Mubiru. You have made a comment, a wonderful presentation, Mrs. Alice Mubiru. Thank you for discussing a topic that concerns and affects all of us. Mr. President, I also have a comment as well as a question from Rotarian Samuel Mukasa. He is wondering whether it's true that excessive use of technology lowers the value of human workers. And is it true that it's one of the reasons for the high levels of unemployment in the youth? That is a question from Rotarian Samuel Mukasa. Mr. President, I think your eyes are sharper than mine. I didn't say second question. If you saw it, maybe you can read it, and then our guest speaker can respond to those. Thank you.
Maybe we pick Sam Ngambwachi's hand.
Over to you, Sam. Rotarian Sam.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you, PE. And thank you very much, Alice. And it's wonderful to have these conversations this morning. And I was just thinking about us as Rotary itself and how best to use technology. I know most of the clubs are going fully physical, and just imagine 110 people plus on call. If we're fully physical, how much we would miss such a great presentation from Alice. It's food for thought, whether we want to go full physical or stay hybrid, because we could miss, we could benefit. My question to Alice is, how you've been talking about the youth and how they're using technology. I'm more interested in both the good and the bad, but how do we bridge the fact of our parents or some seniors who have failed to adopt and appreciate that technology, yes, is here to be with us, and have shunned away from appreciating it, and therefore might not even know what is going on in the life of their little young ones, because to them, they have no room to learn, appreciate, and understand the effects of technology on these young people. How then do they be able to fast track the growth and the impact of technology on their youth if they are shunning away from technology?
Okay, thank you for these two wonderful questions. I want to thank my husband, Mugera. He's my husband, my in-law. Yeah, I'm happy actually to be here. Now, the question which was asked first was, hasn't technology lowered the use of human resources? I think if I'm getting it right, and hence causing unemployment to the youth. But I mentioned earlier in my discussion that actually you can use technology to enhance your skills, to become creative, to learn new things. We have children, we have youths in Uganda who are having jobs, who are working online in other countries, in Canada and the US. They are virtual assistants. They have learned so many other things. Let's just help the youth, help others to understand how to use this kind of technology, not just to be there calling and sending messages and saying hi. Because as the physical presence of employees is going down, like I said, you can be employed virtually. You can learn a skill and you start something. I gave you an example of a child who taught herself how to plait hair. There are tutorials. There are so many things they can do. Let them embrace technology and use that. The second question is about how the parents can bridge. There are parents who are shunning away from this technology. Yes, we have several of them who don't want to know. My child will not have a phone. My child will not. Why? They are different. We are changing. The generations are changing. There are so many trends. So we have to move with the flow. Parents, listen to me. It is okay to get your child a gadget. Buy them a phone. Buy them a laptop so they can move. They're not left behind. But be interested and know that you are
Mr.
going.
President, I think we've lost the speaker, the guest speaker.
No, she's actually on.
No, she's excellently on. I'm afraid we could have lost our PE. Please.
Sorry about that. Maybe someone is losing me. But I was still continuing. I'm saying that as a parent, as a guardian, as a person who really cares about these youths, let them embrace, let them learn. This is a generation of technology. Let them, parents, let them have those gadgets, but ensure that you check what they are doing. As I was concluding, that is what I put in my take home. Know what they are doing. Interest yourself to understand, why is my child spending so much? But the problem is we buy these gadgets and we do not guide. So guide them through. Instead, you buy an iPad and download all the games your child is going to play. Can't you download something which is educative? Not games of temple run what? Download something that is very, very educative. Or before you put anything, you can put a game, but understand, how is it adding value to my child? So parents, please, there are those parents who don't want to know. And I want to tell you, or to break the ice, you will not buy these gadgets for your children, but they are interacting with others wherever they go. They are going to be inquisitive to have a phone and try to check before this other person or the neighbor or the friend takes away the phone. And in this way, they are checking for wrong things. But if they have them and you take them through that you have this phone or you have this laptop, you have internet, but use it this way, it is the best way of bringing them up and supporting them. Thank you.
Awesome. I want to say thank you very much, Alice, once again. Friends, our time is really fast spent. I would like to borrow strictly 5 minutes of your time to enable us bring our fellowship to a close. But I know there are many questions that our colleagues could have. I'm seeing some in the chat section. I will request you, Alice, to stay behind for at least 10-15 minutes so that you can be able to respond to some of these concerns at the end of our fellowship. So with no much further ado, I want to welcome a technology guru, a doctor, an AG, none other than James Onyoing, to give a befitting vote of thanks to our guest speaker this morning. AG James, over to you.
Thank you very much.
It seems AG is not is muted or something.
James, we seem not to hear you very well. No, we can't hear you.
Sorry.
That's much better.
Okay, I was saying that please, Mr. President, join me in thanking Alice for bringing this very, very important topic to our attention. As you can all see, we have a big responsibility. First of all, trying to understand the technologies that are available and then guiding our children through it. And of course, we are living through a very big risk. If this technology becomes wiser than us, as Albert Einstein says, we will have a lot of idiots. So thank you for that warning, Alice. We are going to drive cautiously. We are going to guide these children. And we're also going to make sure that artificial intelligence does not surpass our knowledge. Thank you very much, Alice, for handling the questions very well as well. And we hope that in future, you'll be able to come back again to Daybreak. On this note, I want to announce that the president has prepared a very beautiful certificate, which will be provided to you electronically, but also at the appropriate time, a delegate will be sent to hand this certificate to you physically. Thank you very much for honoring the invitation, and thank you very much for sharing your experience, your vast experience with the Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak and his friends. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, AG. Alice, I will right now appoint your husband, who will be president next year, to hand over this certificate to you physically at an appropriate time. P. Edward, you must find an opportunity to hand over this physical certificate to Alice. So right now, I would like to invite you, Rotarian Irene Katende, to give us a summary of our statistics of attendance today. Irene, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, once again. Listeners on this call, this morning we've had 121 participants, 33 visiting clubs, and 2 guests. The guests were Marion Onyoing and Lynn. Because of the time we have, allow me to share the clubs that I've visited on the different platforms before the close of the day. Over to you, President.
Thank you very much. Super admin Irene Katende. Friends, please do register in the chat section so that we can get to take note, recognize and appreciate your attendance. Before I invite none other than Rotarian Peru to give us the final toast, I would like to move a sincere vote of appreciation to each and every single one of you that has plugged in into our meeting today. Not that we take you for granted, it is a great honor and a great joy that you have chosen to be with us. But in a special way, I want to appreciate all our Rotary leaders, all our district officials for finding time to come and always be with us. We want to thank all the PAGs, AGs, change maker presidents. We really appreciate our colleagues and comrades, District 9214, who actually are fresh from your DCA. Thank you very, very much for always tuning in under the leadership of none other than VCC and CCE Jaja Muzungu. I wish I could mention each and every single one of you by name, but unfortunately, in the interest of time, I request that you allow us move our sincere appreciation to you. Rotarian Peruth, it is right about now that I want to turn this session to you to bring this to a close with the final toast. Peruth, over to you. Okay, in the absence of Rotarian Peruth, I saw Rotarian Mish. I want to give you an opportunity to bring this meeting to a close with a final toast. Rotarian Mish, if you're there, unmute and grace us with a final toast.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you very much, President, for the opportunity. The hijack notwithstanding, and I'll take the honors. For everything we've had, for the wonderful sharing, for the wonderful counsel, and the great talk, especially about technology and our youth, which in a way or the other affects and impacts on us even as adults. I want to propose a toast to Rotary International.
Rotary, the world over. Thank
Rotary,
you
world
very,
over.
very much. Rotarian Mitch, it's not a hijack. Rotarians are always and ever ready to serve above self. Thank you very much. Friends, this marks the end of our meeting. For those that would like to embark on your
Good
other
morning.
engagements, you're welcome to do so.
My sister in Howard.
So I would like to request that we carry forward with the Chimeza. For those that would like to have an interaction with the Alice Namubiru here. Alice, I don't know whether you could give us less than 15 minutes of your precious time to bring your discussion with colleagues or to the close. Is that fine with you, Alice?
Yes, it's all right.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We officially open the discussion. So should you have a question or a comment that you would like to interface with Alice, I see your husband is already ready to swing. Edward, you can start us off and the rest will really dive in.
Thank you, Mr. President. I can see that you picked something or two against me because of having such a brilliant wife who can talk with things that are difficult in an easy and very comfortable way to consume. Well, one of the comments that came up was to do with the good aspects of tech. And I don't know if you could be having some practical ways for the parents and all those who have youth in their care, how they can encourage the good use of tech, and also for the youth that are being affected negatively by technology, such as those that maybe have become socially awkward, withdrawn or shy, those that have been bullied. How do they deal with such negative aspects of technology? Over to you, Alice.
Maybe I want to request that we pick David, AGE David Semakula's submission, and then Alice can respond to those two. David, over to you.
Thank you, excellent President. What I wanted to know is the guidance the guest speaker can give us in respect to, for lack of better word, illiterate parents, some people, or many people, or many of us are illiterate about technology, such that you don't even, if you allow your child to embrace it, you may not be able to control the speed at which they are rushing. For argument's sake, when you give your child a mobile phone, he moves faster than you in seeing what goes on. So you have to be ahead on cross-checking what what she accessed and what are you. But if you are illiterate, the best you can do is keep the mobile phone away from him or her. Of course, you can't succeed. How do we help the illiterate parents to make sure that their children don't take on in succession as successors of illiteracy from their parents, such that they help their children or have the capacity to help their children to embrace technology in a positive way? I don't know whether I'm clear, but there is a gap whereby some people are illiterate and about these gadgets, about access to internet, about how to access it, how to stop their children from going the etc. unnecessary or dangerous area. I submit.
I think you're loud and clear. Alice, you can please respond to those two concerns from Rotarians here.
Yes, I've gotten the first one, sorry, the second one very well. The first one from Edward was about how to help the children who have been a victim of bad influence or bad. Can you, Eddie, summarize it just in a few seconds?
Yes, I was looking at the negative effects of tech. You have children that, because of the use of tech, they have developed some antisocial behaviors. They have probably issues with learning. They are socially withdrawn. You know, they have probably become shy or intimidated because they have been cyberbullied. How do you help such victims of tech, if I might call it that way?
Okay. Thank you. What I'll respond to this is how good do you know your child? In the first place, how are you going to know that this child of mine has been cyberbullied or is becoming distressed? His or her self-esteem is becoming low because of tech. Now, if you are able, as a parent, as a guardian, if you are able to identify and cite this, the responsibility is all yours to probe more, to understand further what really happened. We have counselors around who can help these children, but you have to first understand as a parent, as a guardian, that my child was cyberbullied. My child's photos have been moving all over the social media, and this is going to affect their self-esteem. This is going to affect them mentally by becoming distressed. So I think here you have, as a parent, if you see that you cannot really go through this and try to build, take these children to the counselors. There are those counselors who deal with the youth to try to rebuild their self-esteem, to help them. Because from what I'm understanding, that alone will actually put the child or to drift them away from using tech. And yet it is important. But I think as you keep talking, as the child goes through different sessions, they understand how best to use this. It will even help them to pick only the positive ways of using technology. The second one is how to guide our parents who are illiterate about technology. Members, I want us to agree. Yes, technology has created a huge generation gap. I want to tell you the truth that even me, I won't say that I know everything about these phones, but my daughter will get my phone and get something in a few minutes. This does not mean that I have to give up. No. Push yourself. Try to learn. Of course, there are those parents who have their, what are they called? The analog, the capability. They don't want anything about smartphones. And so they will say, I am not buying this for my child because it's going to spoil them. I think we should embrace technology since it is changing lives and it is changing almost everything in the world. These parents have to think twice. Why would you want your child to be left behind? Because you will not say, let me just tell my child, let them go with what is available. Like I told you earlier, I interact with a group of youths and they say, we have a friend, even if they are 10, and one friend has a phone, they will all go and use that phone. Yet for you at home, you think you have not bought a phone for this child. So you do what you think will be the best. I always want to say this thing that we start from the basics. Train your children to do the right things even when you are not there, even when there is no one to police them around. Train them from childhood. Because let me tell you, even if you say, I'm illiterate, I will not buy, I will not do what, they will access because they interact with others. But let this child of yours have access to that phone, to that computer, to the internet, even when you're not there. But what are they going to do? It starts from the upbringing and the training. Because we all know the dangers of technology. Whether you're illiterate or literate, we all know the dangers. Wake up and talk about these dangers. Talk about pornography. Don't shy away. Talk about pornography and tell them what are the dangers of pornography. Talk about so many things. Spending so much time on the gadgets. Let them know that it's not good. But denying them the right to embrace or to access, it is not the best way. It is not the best way, and I want to advise parents out there, let your children have these gadgets if you're willing to buy them for them. But like I mentioned earlier, be interested to know what they are looking out for. By the time you get this gadget, know that the responsibility and the burden is put on yourself. By not buying this gadget, by not allowing them access internet, is worse, I might say. Because you're not spending all the time with this child. They will always find a way in hiding. And they'll say, why isn't it that my parents are buying me these gadgets? That little time they get to these gadgets, they will do wrong things. But you buy a phone or buy a laptop, let them have internet, but keep telling them, don't search. When you go to these sites, they are not good for you. And also parents who can learn these things. Learning will never end. Make sure that you move. If you want to bring up, to try, the gap of course is huge, but if you want to narrow the gap, learn a few things. Tell your child, teach me how you got that. Show me how this came about. I want to see this. Sometimes I play even the negative bit of when I'm dealing with the youths, just to trick them to see how much they do have, how much they know. And from the negativity I pick, I change it to be positive and talk to them in a positive way. So parents, please, if you can, support your children, let them use tech, but do not forget to talk into their heads. about the dangers of technology. Let them know. It's like when you're home, let me give an example. You have a child, your girl or a boy, but you're trying to tell them, do not impregnate the neighbor's child. Or a girl, you're telling her, never get pregnant, avoid sex, abstain. We can say all these things. We could talk about ABCD. Is it ABC? Abstain from sex. Why not technology? Let's learn the little and then help our children. And help our children understand. Be there in their faces. Be there when you are buying these gadgets for them. Advise them. If you can't, I'm thinking it's better maybe look for someone who can provide guidance. And they help you to talk about the dangers if they understand. You're not illiterate. If you're my neighbor, come also and start asking, Mananga, what is about this? And I explain to you, get that knowledge, go back, have talking points and discuss with your children. That is how I will say. That is how I'll respond to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alice. Friends, Alice gave us 15 minutes. I think we still have 5 of these 15 minutes. So if you have anything else that you'd like to share with her, you are welcome to raise your hand, or better still, just unmute and dive straight into it. But Alice, we want to continue to thank you for giving us a little more of your precious time. We don't take it for granted. Any more concerns and comments, my friends on call? Okay, so I think, Alice, you have successfully handled and satisfied the Rotarians today. Thank you very much for your precious time. I will request that you use the next 3 minutes to give us your parting shots, and then we can bring this to a close and embark on our day's engagements. 2 minutes, your parting shots, Alice.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to thank you, the Rotary Club of Kampala Daybreak. Am I getting it right? Yes, for giving me this opportunity to talk to you and to share the little I know about youth and technology. We should embrace technology. We like it. We love it. It has saved and changed lives. But we should strike a balance. As parents, as guardians, as caretakers, we have to strike a balance. Be inquisitive to understand, to know how far this technology is adding value or it is distracting our youth. Like I said, the reason why it is becoming a growing concern is because we have the majority of the population being the youth. So imagine what can happen if all of them are just using technology in a wrong way. What will happen to our nation? Let's play our part as parents. Let's guide them. Let's be in their faces.
Okay. Friends, there is a saying that Nalima Wagonda Atera Nanyuka. Literally meaning that even if you're digging on soft ground, you have to get home at some point, but also the good dancers leave the floor. So we want to bring this to a close and embark on our day's engagements. Thank you very much, Alice, and the rest of you that have stayed put. Let's go out there and guide our youths on how they can use technology for their benefit or to enhance their lives, to improve their livelihoods, to improve their learning, to improve their skill sets, as opposed to the other way round. Because if we don't, as parents, we stand to lose at this expense of technology. James Onyoin, I see your hand is up. I thought you are bringing this to a close. You have something to say in 30 seconds. I'll give you space.
Yes, Mr. President, I want to just challenge the Rotary and Rotaractors on this call. Let us come up with projects to help solve this problem amongst our society.
Oh yeah, that is a very serious issue, and we can do something. Rotary, we are people that aim at the pain, are forces of change. So we can do something. Thank you, friends. May God bless you and make you a blessing. Have a fantastic day, and bye-bye, Alice.